I remember last year I was on a first date with this girl, and 4 minutes into the conversation, she asked me something like, by the way, what is your type? And so I started describing my perfect girl in full detail. After the date was finished, she blocked me everywhere and I never met her ever again. So I told one of my friends about this and he was like, bro, she meant your personality type. And I was like, what the is a personality type? So you've definitely seen these people with 4-letter combinations on their profiles, like ISFJ, ENFP, INTP, ESTJ, or God forbid INTJ. There is basically 16 of these personalities, and each have their own unique perception of the world. Now, the first thought that came to my mind was, how legit is this test? And I realized that it basically means nothing. But, I still choose this over zodiacs though. I'd rather say I'm an ENTJ instead of fucking Cancer. Basically, there are 4 main parameters in this test. First one is your extraversion, for which you're either introverted or extroverted. Second one, which I think makes the most difference, is how your mind functions. You're either an intuitive sort of person, which in short means you have an active sense of imagination, or sensing sort of person, which means you have more focus on what is happening and going on at the moment. Third one is your nature. You're either the thinking type, which means you're very logical in your decisions, or you're the feeling type, which means you don't really need a factual argument to do something. You just rely on how you feel. And finally, you have the tactics, which is a fancy way to say whether you clean your room or not, in which case you're either judging or prospecting. So you have a total of 16 different combinations of these. First step is doing the test and then get the result, and then see who are some of the fictional characters that have the same type as you do. Personally, I got ENTJ, which is the same type as Light Yagami and Mike Wazowski. This is real. But yeah, I'm definitely relating to this one more. So now you've done the test and got your result. What do you do now? Well, first off, you gotta remember to always say the 4-letter combination instead of the weirdo name that your personality has been given. After learning that part, there are several options. You can either join a cult and try to prove everyone that your personality is the best personality of them all and just be cringe, or you can just use it for self-improvement and see what are the capabilities of your type. Or as a final option, you can just type every person around you and see how useless all of these are. Honestly, I don't even know why I made this video. So for the sake of this video not being so useless, let's rank all the personality types. Their sense of intuition is so strong that sometimes they completely detach from reality. They are very efficient though, which is something that ENTJs love. 8 out of 10. Some of them are just too emotional for me to not accidentally hurt them by saying something that I didn't even consider as offensive. 4 out of 10. Genuinely some of the nicest people you'll ever come across while also being very disciplined. I like to call them the cool uncle type. And so only for that, 8.5 out of 10. I'm out here in the real world collecting ENFPs like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. They have such a positive, lovely personality that it is impossible not to like them. I have to admit, they are also very unfocused though. So yeah, 1 out of 1. Very dutiful, loyal, and dedicated. They should be a little more open-minded though, but still, one of my favorite types. 8.5 out of 10. This is the type with basically 0 haters. They are the most wholesome and motherly out of all the other types while also being very principled. Also, some of the most social introverts you'll ever see. 10 out of 10. I admire their will and sense of order. They are very practical but often way too rigid. 6 out of 10. These are some of the warmest and most friendly people you'll find, but often just too obsessed with being social. So, 7 out of 10. These are the quiet, introverted people who get themselves into the most unexpected situations. One minute you admire how wise and thoughtful they are, and the next morning you hear that they've been arrested for selling crack to kids. So, 5 out of 10 for the sake of unpredictability. They have a very strong sense of morality, but they are also too impulsive. 4 out of 10. These guys will die young. They are just too adventurous and reckless to survive this world. 1 out of 2. Very impulsive, but at the same time very social and funny. Also, they have a very good sense of fashion. 6 out of 10. These guys are weird. Some of them are just too quiet and shady to be interesting, but those that aren't this way are possibly some of the most insightful people you'll meet. 7 out of 10. I think they are really cool. They are laid back, they are chill, they are humble, and at the same time they are very smart. 8 out of 10. Workaholics, just workaholics. Their entire sense of self-worth comes from what they've done and achieved, which is actually a good thing. 7 out of 10. I swear to God, these are the best people to have a conversation with. They are very informed, funny, and charismatic at the same time. You have to match their pace though. 9 out of 10. So yeah, that was all the personality types, and that's it. That was the video. Goodbye.